Hi, and welcome to Ottawa English. I'm Angela. And today we're looking at how to get a high Celpip score, even if you don't have a great vocabulary. I know vocabulary is something many of you worry about, especially when it comes to finding the right word when you're under exam pressure. So today, let's try and get it into perspective and reduce your stress about vocabulary by using a stronger score in other areas to compensate for any vocabulary inadequacies you may have. Celpip examiners use this rubric to score each of the speaking tasks, and clearly, vocabulary really isn't the only thing they're looking at. It's just one of 4 categories. Even within the vocabulary category, there are several factors that make up your vocabulary score. This one here, suitable use of words and phrases, means you're flexible enough to find an alternative way to say something when you can't think of the exact word. This one here, range of words and phrases, means that you don't just use the same word over and over again. And this one, precision and accuracy, means you use the tools of language efficiency to express yourself. Let's take a look at a response to this prompt, where we describe an important celebration during our childhood. I've chosen Mother's Birthday, and this is the response I've prepared. Stop the video for a moment and read my response. So let's look at the word choice. A big deal may be an unfamiliar phrase, but I could say important. Instead of devour, I could just say eat. With either of those alternatives, I would get a full score for my word choice. I get my score for a range of suitable use of words and phrases from this very informal phrase, big deal, and then from this to and from, and bright and early. For precision and accuracy, I pick up a lot of points for these participle adjectives because they make my sentences very efficient. I don't need to say that was related. I can just say related. And I don't need to say that included. I can just say including, and so on. These possessives also increase my language efficiency score because it reduces the number of words. So rather than say the birthday of my mother, I can say mother's birthday. Instead of the level of gratitude that my dad felt, I can just say dad's level of gratitude. And instead of the bedroom of my mother, I can just say mother's bedroom. And similarly, all of these parallels go a long way to giving me a good precision and accuracy score because they make my language very efficient. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot more to getting your vocabulary score than just knowing specific words and phrases. Now let's take a look at how we can pick up points in the other sections. For content and coherence, I've got an event, Mother's Birthday. It's a good quality idea because it's relevant to the question, which asks me for a celebration in the past. And I've used the past tense throughout to reflect that event in the past. I've organized my ideas into an introduction and then 2 nice paragraphs and a conclusion. And I've provided some details to show why her birthday became important and how we celebrated it. For the listenability score, I pronounce every word very clearly. My accent isn't a problem as long as the examiner can hear the word endings that identify whether I'm speaking about the past, the present, or the future. For a full score here, I mustn't correct myself more than I would in my other language, and I mustn't pause too often. I want to appear to be very confident about my ability to communicate in English. In terms of grammar, I've used the simple past tense because it's something that happened during my childhood. For my sentence structure points, I've got my subject, verb, and complement in the right order. Now, sentence variety can be a bit tricky in speaking because you can't go back and check how many sentences start the same way. A lot of students forget how important sentence variety is in the speaking section. So before your test, practice saying things in different ways with big, fat, juicy subjects. In terms of picking up points for sentence variety here, I've used a correlative conjunction, I've used gerunds, I've used a conjunctive adverb, and I've used several subordinating conjunctions that show the examiner I'm comfortable using complex sentences. And now in the last section, task fulfillment. My response is relevant because it answers the question and shows how my mother's birthday became important and why it remains memorable. It's complete because it has an introduction, 2 well-developed ideas, and a conclusion. The tone is appropriate. I'm clearly sharing a childhood experience with a friend. And the length is good because it fills the 60 seconds allowed for my response without leaving too much time when I'm not saying anything. I hope that gives you some ideas about ways you can pick up points for a good score, even if you don't have the world's best vocabulary. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.